This is Thursday, May 5th, 2022. And I just want to do a market update today. It's been a while since I did this one. So I want to do something on the stock market and in crypto. So hope everybody is, keeping their minds together in the right place. 2022 is a little different than 2021. Okay. So 2021, you could have gotten almost anything: crypto, stocks, meme coins. Everything was working, right? Because that year we had a historic year where the market just went straight up. This year is different. Okay, leading into the end of last year, into the beginning of this year, all the markets started falling. Crypto market, stock market, everything. All right. And so we have to re-strategize. We have to figure out, okay, how are we going to deal with this situation? How can we still be profitable? How can we protect ourselves? So I want to go a little bit over some of that right now. First, I want to recap some of the market stuff that's going on. All right. So we're going to take a look at some of the charts, and I'm going to show you what's going on here. So, first of all, so I had posted on my Trade View page, Trader from the North, at the beginning of the year that SP 500 was coming down. Okay, so I posted this on January 25th. All right, I had said since the beginning of the year, I still stand by this. I still think we're gonna come falling down much lower this year. SP 500, I see it falling into the 3,500 to 3,800 range. All right, and let's see what has happened since I made this post. Okay, so we have fallen as low as the 4,000 range. So we have about $200 to go. All right, before we reach that range where I was saying this is highly likely that the market's going to be falling to this area. And they call it a correction. Correction means that you've been going up so far for so long, there needs to be a correction. Nothing goes straight up forever. The the laws of supply and demand, everything that goes up must come down. Doesn't have to come all the way crashing down to the bottom, but everything will eventually do what they call a correction, which is pull to a more reasonable price level in the markets. So let's go straight to the chart. SP 500 and NASDAQ, they practically run side by side. So when they're going up together. When they're going down together. And they are stock indexes. They represent a bunch of the top companies in the whole United States. So the SP 500 in general, a lot of people use that as the representation of the whole stock market. However, NASDAQ, like I said, they kind of they run together, because a lot of the same companies are in both stock indexes as well. Okay, so looking at the NASDAQ, once again, this represents a lot of our economy as well. All right, so since the year 2020, I've done this many times, just kind of gone over this chart. I just want to always reiterate where we are and what has happened. All right, and this is 2020. All right, so 2020, starting after the COVID crash, everything just shot up. All right, shot up until the end of 2021. And then we had this harsh sell-off. Okay, so that's where we are right now, and that's why I was saying in my post I had shown you earlier, right here, I feel like we're going down lower because we're so overdue for that. We've never seen an insane run in the stock market like this ever in history. And just insane right here. Okay, anyway, in such a short amount of time. So why we also the fundamentals behind why we ran so high is not due to a great economy. It's due to a lot of other factors. People kind of can say it was due to market manipulation. So when you can manipulate the stock prices to shoot up, everyone thinks they're going to make so much money. They're like, wow, I just put my money in any stock, even a meme stock, and I'm going to make a ton of money. Those kind of things are short-lived in a market the price is being manipulated. So we have to be aware of these things. We are in 2022 now, and we are so far we're in a bear market. Bear means going down, bull means going up. So we were in a bull market 2020 to 2021. 2022 we're doing the opposite as what we've been doing. So we as investors, as traders, we have to be smart. We have to pay attention, and we have to re-strategize. Whatever you did last year that was working, whether it was throwing your money in any meme stock, any random meme stock, and just or any pump and dump stock, and just DCA, keep throwing it, and all your money goes up, that will not work this year. That works in a bull market where we're just flying straight up. That will not work in a bear market where we are going down. So, but just like we don't always go straight up, we don't always go straight down either. There are dips in the market. It'll go way up here and then it'll go down, right? And then it'll go way up here, go down, dip. And that's why they say buy the dip. Buy the dip in a bull market. That's what they say. And it's a smart plan too, as long as we're in a bull market. Now, same thing, when we're in a bear market, there are also dips on the way down. Could be a little more dangerous. But if we're paying attention and we can see what's happening on the charts, we can kind of follow, and there will be dips. Just know that these dips though, it's not like these dips where it's going to form a new all-time high and just go higher. Okay, these dips, they're only going to go to a certain point, and so these are only good for swing trades. You got to get in. When you get in, you got to get out when it's time to get out, because these things are not going higher. Okay, we're trending down. So currently what's going on is that we have, so we have what's called a bullish divergence. I've gone over this many times, but I'll keep going over it because some people haven't caught on. So I'm just going to keep doing this till people are able to recognize this just as easy as well. But it's when these lows, when these lows in the market are getting lower and lower and lower, right? However, these lows on what's called the RSI, the relative strength, are getting higher and higher and higher. That means the relative strength of the market is weakening, right? Although the market keeps dipping lower, the relative strength is getting higher. These lows are getting higher. What that typically causes is a strong push up. But it's not to say where it's going to be a strong push up and all new all-time high. Although I'm not factoring that out, that's not what I'm saying. I see it as we're going to get up to a certain high, just like last time. We got up just to a certain high only. So what we can do is we can draw a trend line across the highs here, and we could kind of assume, and this may not be 100%, but we could kind of assume that we're gonna at least get close to that same area as the trend line is going down. So we can kind of find a target somewhere in this area. All right. So this is what I'm seeing on the NASDAQ right now. All right. And I made a post about this on my page, which received an editor's pick on TradingView. So I'm very proud. But basically, yeah, exactly the same thing I drew. Getting bullish divergence. So I see us going up in the coming week or coming weeks. But only to a certain point. Because once we get to that certain point, I see us dropping lower again. Okay. So for swing traders, people who want to pick up stocks or something at the lows, this is not a bad idea. In my opinion, this is not a bad time to get in on those. But if it's only for a swing, if you're planning to hold long term, I don't think this is a good buy. Because once again, I think we're going lower. So this is just for a swing trade, for traders. What's nice about this is I've been using the NASDAQ as an indicator for Bitcoin and crypto. So when I think the NASDAQ is going to make a strong move up, such as, had we caught it here, typically Bitcoin makes a strong move up the same time as NASDAQ. Ever since last year, once again, as I've been tracking these two, and I've been tracking them since last year. And I also posted this on my TradingView about the correlation between the NASDAQ and the Bitcoin. They've been moving in tandem. There's obvious correlation now. So you could technically kind of use NASDAQ as an indicator for Bitcoin, which I've been doing. And it's been a pretty good indicator as far as I've been using. So I'm just going to continue using it. So I think we're going to make a move up on NASDAQ. So I think we're going to make a move up in crypto, in Bitcoin. Here we are in Bitcoin. So same thing, when we're bottoming out on our RSI and our oscillators, typically that's a good sign that we're bottoming out. So just kind of find these things together, right? It's kind of over here, divergence there, but we're bottoming out once again, right? So with divergence, yeah, I see we have some divergence here too. Look at this. Same thing as the other chart. These lows are getting lower on Bitcoin, while these lows are getting higher, right, on our oscillator. So the strength is getting weak as far as down, right? That the strength is starting to go up because these lows are getting a little higher, right? Just like these lows are getting lower while these lows are getting higher. Okay. And there was divergence, similar divergence. Look back here. These lows were getting lower, right? While these lows were getting higher. Just follow it down. Look at the correlation. And what followed that? What followed that is this big surge up. Okay. We're getting the same look right now. These lows are getting lower while we're getting bullish divergence here on Bitcoin. All right. So I'm anticipating another run up as well. So this run, we could get all the way up to, the previous highs around 48,000. We could break that. We could go all the way up to 50, but I see us going a nice 10,000 plus dollar move on Bitcoin. All right. What's nice about that? Now, this is, how we make money with alts. Okay. So we use NASDAQ as an indicator for Bitcoin. We use Bitcoin as an indicator for altcoins. So we see that Bitcoin kind of follows along with NASDAQ. We also know there's a lot of altcoins that follow along with Bitcoin. One of them, Shiba Inu. So Shiba Inu, if we're looking at it, all right, has bottomed out, because it bottomed out there, right? And it's roughly coming to this same area. So for me, I like to just kind of put a whole box around this area and call it the support zone. I call this the dip. We see what happened last time it got to the dip area. Big push up. And so I anticipate we will be getting another big push up. So I'm actually thinking, okay, we should at least get to like the 35 area. So if we wanted to swing trade Shiba Inu, this is actually a good price in my opinion. Sorry, to grab some Shiba Inu. It's about 20 0 0 0 0, the 4 zeros, and then 20 and 5 8. And the target would be 0 0 0 and then 3 5. Right? It could go all the way up to 3 8, maybe higher. Who knows? But I believe it'll at least reach 3 5. So I don't think that's a bad swing trade from what is this, 2 0 to 3 5. Swing trade entry. All right. So Shiba Inu is very cheap, less than a penny. So $100, couple $100 in this swing trade is going to bring back a pretty decent return. So last year the strategy for altcoins and things like that was buy the dip. Why? Once again, because we were exploding in the crypto market. All right. So from the beginning of the last year all the way till April, buy the dip. After that, Bitcoin crashed. All right. So it's like, well, watch out, let it bottom out a little bit. All right. And once it bottomed out for like the whole summer. But once it started taking off again, buy the dip, all the way till it peaks out. And I guess it only peaked out in November, and yeah, a lot of us, including myself, thought it was going to go much higher, but it just peaked out in November, and just the whole economy, the stock market and the crypto market, everything just lost steam and everything got sold off. But here we are now creating a new floor, roughly. And so we're looking similar to last year, right? It's like at the floor, we're kind of staying, holding down there. Sometime it'll pump a little bit here and then it'll go back down. And then hopefully at some point it'll make another run. So I think, it pumped up a little bit there. It pulled back down. I think it'll pump up one more time. But if we are following the stock market, I don't know how much higher it's going to go, but I do think it's going to set up for a bull trap. So I think it's not a bad idea to just swing trade, which is a little more riskier than like long-term holding. But I also wouldn't long-term hold. I wouldn't try to get in any long-term holds right now either. I would wait for like a real established bottom. But I don't think this is the real established bottom yet. It could be, but I need to see more evidence to believe that. So anyways, so Shiba Inu, we say the golden rule of all trading is buy low, sell high. The part that most people miss, most people never do in this scenario, okay, is this part. They never buy low. They want to buy when the market's up here and when it's peaking and it's at its top. That's when they want to buy. When it was down here, hold on. When the market was down here, Shiba Inu was down here. This is when I actually posted on my Trading View, this is the time to buy. You want to buy some Shiba Inu, buy it. I'm not saying buy, but I'm saying if you want to buy, this is that time. It was sitting at the lows. If anybody had listened, they made an insane return. Anyway, and I posted it on my Trading View. You can go back and check. Trader from the North. Look at my Shiba Inu posts. I'm not gonna go find it, but just remind you. Go back here. Oh yeah. So anyway, buy low, sell high. Most people don't sell high either. They just don't sell at all, and then it goes from low to high, back to low again, and yeah. So if this is your first rodeo in the stock market and crypto, now I hope now you have a little more, just idea, right, of how you want to approach these markets. We want to buy low. Where's the low? Low. We've already established the low. We came up, came back to that same low. So I'm liking this area as a buy on Shiba Inu. And we're going to see over the next week or so how it goes. Here's the thing. It could go lower. Okay. It could go lower. But I think I don't see it going a lot lower. If it goes lower, just goes lower. And then I think it's going to make its way up. So I do see that. I do think it's going to stay within this support zone area, even if it goes a little lower. Because same thing I feel about NASDAQ. NASDAQ could go a little lower. NASDAQ had a little drop today. So it could go a little lower here. But I do feel like over maybe next week, most likely next week, it's going to make the rally. I thought it was going to do it this week. Might do it tomorrow. Still have one more day in the week. It's only Thursday. So might make a run up here tomorrow into the weekend, into Monday. So, but I still believe this is coming. And yeah, if not this week, I believe we should be rallying up next week. So once again, that is an indicator for Bitcoin. So I see a rally coming for Bitcoin. Because I see a rally coming for Bitcoin, I see a rally coming for altcoins. And so for me, I'm just like, well, let's get the cheapest altcoin that has good movement. And that is Shiba Inu in my eyes. But There are other altcoins such as Harmony One, which is also sitting at a very low here. All right. If you have zero interest in Shiba Inu, Harmony One is actually sitting at the low as well. Only 8 cents. So consider Harmony One. If you dread Shiba Inu, but yeah, this is the strategy, y'all. It's just very basic strategy. Nasdaq for Bitcoin, Bitcoin for altcoins, and same kind of deal. You know, if we were to do a swing trade here, you know, we just target the last high, about 17 cents. So you can decide how much you want to risk for that and all that, but this is what I'm seeing. You know, this is how I see the markets. And yeah, that's about it. That is the completion of my market update for today. If anybody has any questions, feel free to message me. And let's keep finding ways to profit. This year is a bear market, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but can we still make money in a bear market? Yes, we can. All right, and we just have to know. We just have to have a good plan, know what we're doing, and see the charts, you know, as clear as we can, and make our decisions. If you don't want to dabble at all, you're just like, I'm just gonna stay out of this bear market, wait to the bottom. That's fine too. Just don't, you know, turn off your computers, turn off your apps for the stock market, and when the bottom is in, I will be updating everybody, all right, in my circles. The bottom is in as far as when we stop falling, okay? There are certain characteristics that identify the bottom, okay? And I'm pretty good at identifying those characteristics, okay? Anybody who says we can't predict the bottom, whatever, we can't predict it. I agree with that, but we can identify it, okay? Most people probably don't know how to identify it, but I'm pretty good at identifying the bottom. So if you're just waiting for the bottom, you don't want to mess with this market while it's going down. Just stay tuned, and I will let you know when the bottom is in as well. So if you have any questions, once again, reach out. And yeah, have a great weekend.